just two or three things. In ancient building, when you see the darker shade of blue, it means the night, and it means ever the last day of the world. If you see the dark blue sky with four strange winged animals floating in a full of stars sky, it means apocalypse. The golden cross represents the last day of the world and the day, the promise of the return of the Christ. And all the stars, you have to imagine it like a very cosmic wash machine. Okay? That turning of the time, of the history, to the center of the return of the Christ. Ravenna was for 3 times capital of 3 different kingdoms. After the falling of the Roman Empire, Ravenna was the capital of the reign of the Kingdom of Italy, ruled by the king of the Ostrogoth Theodoric from 493. Then other buildings. Exactly.
It's just humanity.
So I think we need a kind of... In the dome, you can see a very tiny white line in the right flag. Under the blue globe, under the angel, there is a white line. This is a part of the mosaics that was integrated and restored during the last century in fresco. Because during the work of the terrible dome, the monks started to remove all the tiles from the apse to change it into a neoclassical decoration. We are today so grateful to Napoleon that arrived in 1798 and wiped away all the emperor and the empress. Substitute then the power is held by the emperor and the empress, and not by the bishop or the pope. 1,500 years ago, that stones were completely colored. You have to imagine the same colors of the mosaics painted in the surfaces of the sarcophags. Because during Roman age, when a person died, it ended his life. So when you see in Italy a lot of white marbles, white sculptures, white stages, you have to remember that everything lost the color, the original color. During the Roman age, we didn't have a monochromatic world, but a huge colored world. They were younger than us. Today we have a very sophisticated come si può dire, strategy to recognize a lot of shade of gray and white. But during the
value.
the value of the gray.
Halfway along the road we have to go, I found myself obscured in a great forest, bewildered, and I knew I'd lost the way. Now I will read an excerpt from the 5th canticle, where I will meet Francesca and Paolo, the great immortal love of which I'm going to tell you. Francesca, was born here in Ravenna. Came a flash of calming light that left me utterly insensible, and I felt as a man who falls asleep.
The body of the first bishop. During the prayer, all the sky became enlightening and became like gold. The clouds starting to whirling through the body of the Christ, and the apostle fell down in sleep, opened the eyes and look at the Christ floating in between the ground and the sky, and you have to see the lighter lower part of the green mosaics, and it's like a pulsation of the light of the cross of the Christ. So the cross represents the body that is floating between the sky and the ground. During the prayer, and this light, it's strange light from the sky, compared Moses at the left and Elia from the right side. Elia has the hand in that position, and in ancient time that represent a man who's speaking. So if you see in marbles or sarcophags two people playing scissors, that means they are speaking.
It's like this.
Yeah, it's like the shade game. So Moses and Elia, the two patriarchs, are still speaking with the Christ. This episode is so important because it's the one story of the holy books where God, that is represented by the hand, in the position of presentation of somebody, orders to the apostles to recognize the Christ as his son. He's a political stratagem to negate the Arianism and affirmate the Holy Trinity, because God refers at the once time to human being to recognize the Christ as his son, differently than the Arianism that don't recognize the Christ as completely Son of God. The first two ships beside the saint are the ones that still have testicles. Yeah. The other 10 ships don't have testicle or sexual attribution. So we have to recognize that two ships as two men.
Ecco, queste sono le tessere più o meno della dimensione che io ho utilizzato per fare il mosaico. Tessere molto regolari, dei cubi, dei parallelepipedi, con questo vetro che ha una conformazione diversa si riescono a fare delle forme anche molto allungate, molto diverse. Adesso ci provo.
They don't cut straight, they cut in wacky shapes. They do not cooperate.
Si possono fare delle tessere piccolissime, molto piccole, senza avere paura di... Ho ancora tutte le dita delle mani, dopo 50 anni di lavoro.
You think I still have my fingers?
Voi vedete questo mosaico fatto con 3 mosaici.
We don't
Wow.
saying that how to be standing. Tell
Sono separate
They don't have a stand. Is that what it's saying?
they're connected. This was the make colors.
The Leaning Tower of Ravenna.
Melissa, Elena, Yu, they are from studio staff. They work here. All of them comes from the art school, from the fine art school.
Here in Ravenna.
Here.
Learn more techniques. Now I'm trying to learn a technique.
Yeah. We have also other students, but they were only for the morning. This is glass. And the theme was the environment, the sea, and the problem that the human being have. So that represents an ocean of people. And I use different materials like ceramic, UV print on a PVC, like this is a UV print, and glass for cathedral glass, like for the windows of the cathedral, and marble, of course, because all the faces and the ends are made in marble, and all the others are these different materials.
How long did that take you to do?
120 days. We have this offshore to extract gas, to take gas, no?
Yeah.
From the sea.
Yeah.
And so that the name of this opera is Pseudo Scelte. It means pseudo choices. Pseudo choices. And it's a two different way to have a future, a perspective. Like the offshore is a monster, and so it's really bad, and we are all dead.
Yeah.
Or it's a beautiful place with trees and like a touristic place, and we are still continue to watch our phone.
Yeah.
Without
thinking about
the problem of this. So it's a kind of balances. And this is a view of the deep of the sea. And you can see the jellyfish are huge. It's incredible dimensions, because they are is a metaphor like a Godzilla. No, Godzilla is big like that because he absorbed the radioactivities from the deep of the sea, and the jellyfish are the only one animals living perfectly with the plastic. Do you know the big island of plastic in the ocean?
Yes.
It's full of jellyfish.
Yes.
Because they found a shelter. And also a lot of fish still inside this, still come si dice?
Caught inside?
Yeah, jellyfish. Also there I use jellyfish.
Oh yeah, here they are.
Yeah.
Giant jellyfish. The main thing that jumps out at this is the books along with the people.
There is a
Why
lot
the
of books. Because this is the humanity. This is it represents our culture, our problems.
That's cool.
It's got like a
Where this beautiful frame represents something from the history. So in this way, my works can be stuck in the history.
Now we go there. Is a cloister of a national museum, and there was a convent, the convent of monks, and we go in the cloister to see two important monuments.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thanks. We are in 15th century, this is on 15th century.
So this is when Rome was still with the capital.
Empire.
Yes.
The most famous piece of Roman art in Ravenna. If you see, you must look. There are two pieces excavating in the ground from here to Galla Placidia. I don't remember the right date.
But it was around 1000 BC. No, 20.
The slaves who were born in the house had part of the family. So this Ravenna, this was a slave, but lived with the family and take part of the family. See, this is interesting that mosaics.
Right.
Mosaics are in order, so they think, oh, there is nothing. Oh, we are not mosaics. But the architect who worked with me was very arrabbiato. He said, not only stones, this is important for the construction, for the... It's like if we are stars, fall in the ground. We live and after we come back. In the cross, in the Christian cross, is disequilibrium. You must look to the sky and don't take too much interest for the body, but they are foolish because the body is very important. We live in our body, so it's better to have equilibrium.
After the war against the Byzantine and the Ostrogoth in 540, the church was translated into an Orthodox holy building, and the bishop Agnellus, the name in Latin, converted all the Ostrogoth symbols inside in Orthodox. Ravenna is the one city with cylindrical bell towers, not squared bell towers. Just for a reason. Probably all the bell towers were built after, centuries, 4 centuries or 5 centuries after. And it's typical just for our city. During the Roman period, all the facades were frosted by mosaics. All the churches of our city were completely covered by mosaics, inside and even in the interiors. Yeah, like a treasure inside and outside. Certo. This is the first mosaics, the first monument of the city. In the Roman tradition, just the mausoleums had the circular shape. For a reason, baptisteries had the same structure, because when you get baptized, you died for 3 times in the Christ and you resurrect in the Christ. So, baptismal buildings are similar and so closely to the mausoleums. It is a half dead and half new life building. You have to imagine that a lot of centuries ago, during the night before the Holy Friday, before Easter, a queue of non-baptized people during the night entered after the bishop and the deacons, and then one after one they were singed in the water for 3 times and renegated the devil, and then after the 3rd times they standing up over the water, they were covered with a white dress, and then they exit from another door, and then they get baptized, and they reburn in Christ. Exactly. But they discovered unpreparation after the martyrs. Veritas et vita. I am the only way of the truth and the life. It's a bit aggressive.
Ego.
Via, way. The heresies, yes. Our deacons called Ario. And it's so quiet and a little bit impressive for the fixing of the eyes.
Christian martyrs or no?
Christian martyrs by Rome. The eyes of the young Christ is shaped, it's a little bit. It's not so much.
You want to try?
Who want to try? Chi vuole assaggiare?
This is a riserva. It's a riserva.
Oh, so good. This is really different than the pizza we had the first night. Really different. And really different than the salmon pizza that we had.
Cos'altro da bere? Limoncello per tutti.
Capi qui, va con il
Hai ricostruito da voi?
What is it? Questa è la pagina della mia storia che dura 24 ore. Sì, perché
Ho visto la coda.
yeah, it's good, but you know.
You guys are gonna so love this video.
So l'italiano se io lo
This is the second time my hair has been done. Something like that.
Ah, yeah. Right? Oh, yes! She looks just like her.
Okay.
Vivian!